In today's episode, we're going to unpack how do you double your sales without sounding salesy. Everyone loves to buy something, but no one wants to feel like they're being sold on something. So I'm going to show you the secret to increase your conversions.
My goal is to help coaches and entrepreneurs turn their mind into money, teaching them how to take what they know, package it, market it, sell it, and automate it to make a massive income and massive impact, even if they don't have a lot of followers on social media.
Welcome back to another episode of Monetize with Marcus podcast. Now, today's episode, if you own and operate a business, this should be important to you because sales is going to be the primary thing. But I'll be honest, if you're anything like me, I got into business because I love serving people. So it was really hard for me to feel comfortable asking for the sale, although I wanted it. If you're anything like me, like if you struggle with this, how many of you ever felt uncomfortable when someone asked the price? So you immediately start negotiating or you get weird and you're like, because you don't want to say too much, don't want to say too little. How do you consistently get people to sell without being salesy? Well, first and foremost, how do you define salesy? Right? How many of y'all like that? Did you own a business? You was like, man, I don't want to come off like that salesy person that's on the internet. Like if you're like me, my mind was, I just didn't want to be that guy. Every time you looked at me, hey, look at me, buy this, right? I had to figure out, we all want someone to buy from us, but none of us want to come across as salesy. So like, how do we bridge the gap between the two? And I'm gonna be honest, like you typically get in life what you're willing to ask for. So if you never ask for the sale, how do you get it? That was such a bar. Let me type that because y'all didn't write it down somewhere. Right? You typically Youtypical. No, I'm just playing. But truthfully, you typically get in life what you're willing to ask for, and you can't get the sale if you never ask for the sale. So how do you ask for the sale without coming across salesy every time someone finds you? Let's do this in a short way so this episode you get some tangibles that you can walk away with. I really think that adding value to the lives of people makes it to where a person is willing to buy from you without you ever come across salesy. What do I mean? Here's a description. If a person is saying, I'm hungry, and I start describing food and start talking about ways that they can get access to resources and to food and the way the food will make them feel afterwards and how convenient it'll be to enter into the restaurant and how great the customer service is and how fast the food comes out and how inexpensive it is for how much food they give you. Did I sell or did I just explain all the process around it, right? And the person will say, well, what's the name of the restaurant? And they'll go and do it. I really think that the way you're not salesy is that every time someone finds you on the internet or wherever you're marketing, I will hope it's the internet, if every time they find you, if you're constantly just communicating things that solve their problems, things that answers the questions for them, ways that you can help them, things that can speed it up, it's like, nope, Amazon don't even market like that. We've got to pause right there because I'm in the giving mood. I decided to offer you a free gift, absolutely free. Now, I tell you all the time about turning your ideas into online income, but how am I going to tell you to do something and not provide the resource for it? There's so many questions that people have online about what should I post? How do I get my engagement up? How do I get people to click the link in my bio, buy from me? What should I sell? Whether it's an ebook, an online course, how much should I charge? How do I launch? How do I do a webinar? You see what I'm saying? So I decided to create a free training and give it to you that you can utilize to learn how to literally take the services that you do or the ideas you have and build a successful online company. Go to www.monetizewithmarcus.com, my gift to you. You're welcome. Like, how does Amazon get people to buy every single day off of their site? Because normally you're buying off of Amazon something that solves a problem for you, speeds up the process, like organizes something for you. Like I think about now I need a jewelry box. I also need something for watches. I need something for belts, just the organization of it. They don't have to sell me. They just need to visibly show me something that solves what it is I'm looking for. So I think that you have to know that anytime that you're positioning what you sell, there's always someone that needs what you have to offer if you created the right offer, right? Unless you're a person who created the digital version of a VCR in the streaming age. What I mean by that, like your course is outdated, your product, your service is outdated. But if it's in alignment with a true problem that it solves, like you never have to be salesy. You just got to position yourself in a good way. Just get in the way. Like, get in the way. My mentor said this years ago. Shout out to Anthony Andrews. I hope he sees this. He says even a bad receiver can get can get catches, and a bad defensive back can get interceptions if they just stay around the ball. I'm gonna say this again. A bad wide receiver can get catches, and a bad defensive back can get interceptions if they stay around the ball. What I mean, if you just stay in the way, if you just stay visible with what you have to offer, at a certain point, you're going to start catching sales, but we want to be more intentional about it. People apply to work with us. And I like to look at the applications and see, like, one of the questions in our application is, what attracted you to work with Marcus? And I'm starting to see a lot now. A few people said, every time I pick up my phone, he's on my timeline. Another person said, all the value that he gives and all the videos I've watched already, I've already learned so much without working with him that I know I'll learn working with him. That's how you can sell without being salesy. You can package what you do, get people a valuable solution where every time they find you, you don't know when someone's ready to buy, but you do know that what you have is valuable to people. So your job is to just stay in the way, stay around the ball, or in this context, stay around the bag. So now someone has to see that I'm going to help you monetize online and give you a business blueprint. You cannot build a business without a blueprint of what you're building. So what I built is the entire blueprint. The funnels that are in place, 3 funnels, which we'll talk about that I believe scales and grows a business. A webinar funnel where you can sell one to many, a digital product funnel where you can automate the sales process, and a high ticket funnel where you can offset your ad costs by now working with people at the highest level of your pricing order, right? So if we got the blueprint of how to do it, you just stay around the ball and keep mapping it out. So last but not least, how do I sell without being salesy? You should quit working for free. How did social media hire all of us to be their workforce? We're on the app posting videos, going live, creating reels. We do not get paid when we create content on social media. They do, by selling our content to advertisers. But how do you actually build an online business using social media? I want to break it down for you and give you access to it. There's 5 simple steps. I'll tell it to you in a few seconds. Step number 1 is client attraction. I'm going to show you how to actually attract clients that will happily pay you what you're offering. Step number 2, how to capture them. How do you get their emails? How do you get their phone numbers? How do you get them to show up to your event? Be on your Zoom calls. To what I refer to as client dating. It's where you nurture a relationship with people to get them to say yes to whatever you're offering. And I'm even going to show you what type of content to create that gives you brand visibility and brand recognition. I call it social media secrets. You get access wherever you're watching this video. You'll see it in the description and you'll see it beneath this. Let's get back to the episode. Like, Marcus, how do I do this? How do I constantly ask for the sale without being salesy? Here's a scenario, and I think if my guy Marty Woodard was saying this, he's phenomenal at this. He is going to constantly say, here's an example. One of the things I saw the other day he posted, he said the problem is not your content, it's people clicking the link to actually start buying. And then he maps out all the problems of why they're not buying, how you can get them to buy, and then says, I created content that converts. If you want to check it out, blah, blah, blah. That's not a hard sale. It's just, here's the problems, here's what's going on, here's what I created as a solution to it if you want it. That's what I want you to do. Get comfortable asking people, not even asking people, telling people how they can get help. And that's how you become this person that can sell without being salesy, where you just give away the value and tell them where they can find it. That's it. You don't make them, you don't force them, you don't pressure them. You just give it away, tell them how they can find more of it. All right? If you do nothing else, here's what I want you to believe. There's this thing you've heard me say before. I refer to it as an MMS. The way you got to first psychologically convince yourself that what you have to offer is a value. So I want you to every day start using this as a daily money affirmation. People happily pay me blank to do blank. People happily pay me blank to do blank. How much do they pay you, and what do they pay you to do? If you can get clear on the amount where you're convinced that you're worth it, and you can get clear on what they pay you to do, where you know the solution you offer to people, once you have that belief, your job is to package and market that belief to other people. If they believe it, they'll buy it. I will see you in the next episode. This has been another episode of Monetize with Marcus Podcast. Let me know. Make sure you subscribe into this. I haven't asked you to subscribe in a while. Subscribe, like. This is free of charge. So what do you do? Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Share this with a friend. Share this with a family member. But most importantly, share with me the value that this is adding to your life. I'll see you in the next episode.